I'm trying to follow stuff, but I've also got crap I got to do. I'm fixing to have to get in the shower. Let's all pray I don't fall again. It's been like the thing. I've got a shower. Let's pray I don't have another issue and pass out and crash again. Anyway, if I do, it'd be okay. I bounce. But I wanted to come in here and say, it's funny how people that posted a couple of days ago to be kind are saying, oh, well, now I'm going to tell you what's really going on. People are mad. Okay, people are mad. People deserve to be mad. People have emotions they have to feel. We cannot put off the anger. It has to be felt. So it's a necessity that we begin to feel it. Otherwise, we'll hit it 500 miles an hour, and then everybody will have to feel it. So people need to feel what they're going through, and they often don't need to put it off, because the more we put it off, the more anger builds, the more resentment builds, and that's where we get into really toxic behaviors. Masters in psychology, I understand this. You used to counsel people with these issues. So we need to feel it as we feel it. We need to deal with it and then move on so we can process our emotions. There are people that are going to need quite a while to process their emotions. At the same time, they're going to have a lot of justified anger, and they're going to have to find a way to exercise that. So that's why giving these videos, sharing their stories, that's what's important, because if they feel heard, they'll feel respected, and they'll feel as though something is happening. There's momentum behind them, and at least their knowledge is moving. I also wanted to come on here and tell you that this is not only affecting Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee. In Pinellas County, Georgia, the other day, the landfills were shut down by FEMA. So anybody that is getting paid to haul off debris for anyone, and these are great people that have dropped their prices to haul this stuff away for people that can't do it themselves, the landfills turn them away. What is it, the transition or something, other places, that the bigger contractual debris, they turn them away. You can only dump at FEMA dump sites, but FEMA has not placed any dump sites for them to dump at. When he called the biggest trash business, I guess, the biggest trash removal business in his state, they told him that FEMA told them they were to dump it back in the driveways of the people it came from. Stupid. And that over the course of the next year, FEMA would be picking it up. Okay, well, we're a few days into this now, and there are already rats and everything taking advantage of this. There's already wildlife taking advantage of this, I spoke to you earlier. And FEMA just wants it to lay around for a year while they get around to oh, really? No. No. So everybody go look at Pinellas County, Florida. It's off St. Pete, basically. And see what's going on there. Because, hello? No. So DeSantis has got a lot of stuff going right, but he's got some own stuff going wrong. And I would suspect it's just stuff meant to slow down the recovery of this area. I just honestly think it's just stuff to slow down the recovery of this area. You can think whatever you want to think. That's what I'm going to think. So it's not just hindering Tennessee. It's hindering several states. And so I just, it's important you know this. It's important that each state that's struggling with this talks to each other. We know kind of what's happening in each state, because it's going to be the playbook in every state. So that's probably going to be the next trick that's going to be played in these other states. So be prepared, all these other states. Be prepared. Look at it. I know Tennessee's furious because our governor sent our National Guard to freaking Bin Laden land after the hurricane struck. He couldn't send them he couldn't send them to help that, but he sent them overseas. Tennessee people, we're mad. Oh, we're mad. Oh, we're mad. Oh, talk about a stupid move, you stupid governor. Governor Bill Lee, you need to resign right now and never show your face in public again. Horrible. Horrible. One of the victims, and I shared her, I shared the link on my community feed in a post. Thank you, Oscar. That was pleasant. She said that she is aware in her area they have over 900 unidentified bodies currently, and that was like yesterday. Okay? So we have a lot going on. We have to realize this spans several states. It spans a lot of communities. Not one person nor 1,000 people are going to have everything to know about this. And that what you see is probably not somebody else's story. So we need to let people tell their stories. And we need to not dog people for telling their stories. That's what we need to hear right now. We need to hear from the people that are in this so that we all can learn from this and understand the playbook that's going to be put on us for any other natural disaster. So that's just what I'm saying. We have a troll in here. Let me just go ahead and get rid of them. Oh, well, what an ugly name you have. So let me just go ahead and get rid of them. Let me go ahead and report you so you can just kind of get on out of here. And maybe YouTube will chew you up, spit you out like they do everybody else. So, that's just kind of how we are. We have to deal with these people. They're stupid. They do these stupid things. I'm going to hide this user so they can't post anything else. So it's just, people are taking advantage of people. The government primarily is taking advantage of its citizens, but this is over several counties, several states, and several million people, honestly. Let's just think about it. Look at all the states intertwined that's affected by this. So, don't dog people for telling their stories. Don't dog people for sharing victim stories. It's something we all need to hear. If we don't learn from this, we don't understand how this happened, we can't stop it from occurring again. So all I can say is let people tell their stories. If you don't want to hear it, go somewhere else. If you want to hear it, thank you. Spread the news and understand that we are going to have to really take this apart and come together as a community, take this apart, understand where it went wrong, and hold our officials and our government accountable. When they have the money set aside for this, they don't use it appropriately, we need to hold people accountable. So we're going to have to take all this apart and understand what happened where and how we missed it and why we weren't made aware, so that if it happens again, we can catch it. Because this is unheard of. This is stupid. And everything I'm hearing is just... it's like they're doing it on purpose to hinder an area. So it's just horrible. Connie, so being here and having a brother in the middle of it that lost a friend that was running boat rescues, Connie, I'm just not going to play nice anymore, okay? There's people that are hurting. There's people that are out there still needing to be rescued. And there are people and children that survive this having to see things that children should never have to see, okay? There are children... As one volunteer said, coming out of the woods naked, asking where their parents went because they've been through the waters and can you imagine? It's like a kid in a tornado that you just find them in the middle of the field and they survived when no one else did. We've had that happen in my area. We've had a lot of tornadoes, and I'm just like, wow. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's always coming to these pages where people from Appalachia are trying to talk. And, oh, you're a Karen. You're stupid. You should be talking about this. Oh, let those people die. Okay, well, it's going to happen to you too because we understand how this occurred. Okay? You can look into these things. You might want to know about the hydrogels being used, but, if you don't, if you're not going to brain for that, that's fine. Go on your merry way. But we've got to do this. We've got to come together and tell YouTube, start taking care of these trolls that are causing problems and start letting the information flow, YouTube. Stop being a butthead. Hello? Because all I'm seeing is YouTube shut down a bunch of people that need to be heard and YouTube letting trolls run rampant. And information is not. And information should be running rampant right now, YouTube. You need to suck it up. So that's kind of where I am, okay? All the data service agencies in Asheville that are still working should be trying somehow to figure out how they can help. Elon Musk has done more than most people. Trump was in Evans, Georgia today. He's also going to be in North Carolina for a town hall. So he's trying to get voices and try to understand and what did the people expect, what didn't happen, and, if he somehow gets back in the office, which the way these hurricanes are going, who they're going to have around the vote. But if he somehow gets back in the office, what is going to be expected of him? At least he wants to know. At least he wants to know. Give the man credit. At least he wants to know. Nobody else is asking that question. So watch YouTube. Watch social media. Watch the Dilberts and idiots come on and try to run people away from telling their stories. I ain't going to run away. Y'all just stuck with me. I ain't making any money off this. I ain't doing crap. I'm just trying to get the stories out, let the victims tell their stories, make sure y'all are getting the information that you're overlooking or that YouTube is stifling, because I'm in the area. My brother was in the middle of this. He lost a friend that was saving people's lives. And I know these things to be fact. So I want you all to know them as well. The truth is something that is more easily hidden than shared because people don't want to know it. They want to know what they're living in and think that that's what everyone else lives in. And that is so asinine. This world is a big place. You can be 1 mile up the road from someone else and have a completely different experience in this world. And I can only imagine the experiences, the millions of experiences that occurred during and after this event that we need to know about, we need to understand. So it's very important that we listen to people right now, that we tag these stupid trolls that are coming in and trying to make everybody that's sharing information, trying to make them run. Tag them, report them, block them, and keep going. Keep going. I don't make a penny. I just want you to know. In this area, we are decimated, okay? Our governor was stupid and sent our troops overseas after this hurricane went through. He couldn't send them to North Carolina, but he sent them overseas and let that one sit with you for a minute. And now FEMA's shutting down landfills for trash debris. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. So what are you going to do when it's your neck of the woods? because it will be someday. So, and we're going to get troll trash. So I'm going to let you go. Thanks for the one person that came in here and said something nice. Thank you very much. And as people watch this, maybe they'll understand that, this is a big thing. Well, prayers for your grandma, honey. It's bad right now. This has been a rough week for my family. We lost a friend middle of last week, and then my brother lost his friend. They didn't find him till Tuesday evening. He was out there for a few days. And if it took them to Tuesday evening to find somebody that was remarkably closer than anyone else should be, if you look at the strength this water had and where it went, then no, they're not going to find a lot of people till they get to these little pooling spots where the water run down the mountain and into these hollers and valleys. They're going to find a lot of people in certain spots where the water pools. It's like Niagara Falls. The water goes over, it does its movements around all the underwater soil and stuff, and they always find the bodies floating in one area, and they never take the tourist boat over there, because that's where, if anybody jumps over and they can't always see or stop everybody, then that's where the body goes because of the current of the water. It's going to take a while to figure out where a lot of deposits were made, and it's going to be sad when it's found. And I dare say they already know where several are, with the number of body bags being brought in and requested, so I'm sure they have an idea. And I want to know these things, because we can't stop this unless we understand what flipping happened. So I want to ask all the questions, get all the information, put it in a pile. Some of it I may shove out. It's not necessary, and some of it I may need. But I think everybody should be doing that right now. And you should be looking at other states and how they're further in their cleanup. How are they being treated? Well, Pinellas County, Florida, St. Pete, shutting down the landfills. You can't take trash to the landfills. You have to take it to FEMA dump sites, but there are none. Don't worry, over the course of the next year, FEMA will be by to clean up the trash. For now, just live with the rats. Just live with the rats and the predators and the molds and the nastiness, the bacteria. What do they think we are? Well, you probably know what they think we are by treating us like that. So here we go. Look at this. If we don't get on top of this, they're going to let it drag out for over a year. Are you flipping crazy? Yeah, they're sending... they're sending more helicopters. Cajun Navy has doubled their fleet to 50, I believe. Not helicopter, I think people, but they've got the most helicopters there, I believe. I may be wrong about that. But between the first guy that rescued that baby that they tried to say was the National Guard, it was a civilian agency. That was great of them, by the way. Cajun Navy. There's been 3 primary people that I've been told about. There was a guy on YouTube, and his name was like something other the third, and he was an Air Force veteran, and he was like, we've come in to fly and help rescue people, and he said they grounded us. Well, we know we don't have enough helicopters. We're in a huge shortage for the amount of land that's being looked at. We know we need more people. There's still people being rescued, people being found alive that need help. We know there's more people out there, so why are they turning away anything? Even if they have to sit still for a minute until you can figure out where you need to send them, or have time to take off, or make sure flight paths are okay, you still need them. Don't turn them away. Don't ground them. FEMA, shut your mouth. Open the landfills. People are going to have trash to go take off. And it just seems, it just seems to me that they're trying to come up with a myriad of ways over the next year that they can make money off of the cleanup, because we all know they're broke. So be prepared. I fully think this is a Great Smoky Mountains, Cades Cove-like land grab. That's my perspective on this. You can have whichever one you want. But I do know that last year, BlackRock had a huge contract to go in the area. I think samples were really good. Okay? I think samples were really good. And with the patents on file for the government, we know that they've been using weather modification technology since Vietnam. It's a very prominent thing they use. And a lot of people that read catch these things. A lot of people that don't read don't catch these things. A lot of people that want intelligence, we have to go through some crap before we find the gems. When you know the gems, life's easier to look at. So we know that there are these things out there. Are they being used against us? I don't know. But my perspective is this is going to be like a Cades Cove-like land grab. We're going to see a lot of land not to go back to people. We're going to see a lot of land told it's uninhabitable. it's going to be one of those things where I doubt everyone's recovered. I doubt we don't get anywhere near everyone being recovered, because along with the people that are known, then you have your homeless population, you have your vagrants, you have the migrants coming through that are not always telling, and there's a lot of people because I used to work in corrections, there's a lot of people within a community that probably aren't supposed to be there, or are in the undertow of the community that people don't always know about, that circulate for different reasons. And I'm like, well, we've got a pretty big group that is not even known about. So just be aware of that. Bless their hearts. We tell them to be careful. West Virginia has its own weather battles, but tell them to be careful. But I'm just like, hey, you gotta know the truth. You gotta listen to the victims. You gotta hear these stories. And if you don't have a heart to hear it, who in the heck are you? And if you can't shut up and let somebody else, tell about their misery, then I guarantee no one's going to listen to you about yours. And that's just the way it goes. But for me, it's about education, understanding this issue, finding the first flaw that occurred, so that we don't end up there again. Because if we can find the first flaw, we can follow the rest of them to the end. So this is what I'm doing. This is how I compost. And there's still every data service in Nashville, or in Asheville. Don't let me run my words together too much. In Asheville, North Carolina, as far as I know, is still answering call centers. Okay, data services, is there anything you can do to help Elon? Is there anything that you can do to link up and help with any of this? Is there something you know how to do? Anything? Because like 90% of the data services are in Asheville. So, hello? I called one today. They were open. So is there something you can do? Can we use any of your technology to help with what's going on? Because I guarantee you they have technology you don't know about. Let's just say that. Between them and the military, God knows what they know how to do. So I'm just irritated, frustrated, I'm sad, hurt, mad. I mean, I'm all the emotions, but I'm trying to go through them and process them and try to find the things to be happy about. But it's hard to find those little gems, but try to find them, because that's how you get through this. And until you can sit with this, you need to show sympathy. You need to be a human. You need to sit down and talk to yourself for a minute if you're not feeling that, and ask why. I guarantee you, if you watch the victims, you will find somebody that reminds you of you or your family, and you will start to understand this from a different perspective, and it will be a healthier perspective. You will have more compassion, and that's what we need to do as society, is build up just emotional maturity overall. And we're losing our executive functions. Let's talk about that. But we're also losing our chosen behaviors, which is normally how we respond to people, especially those that are in an emotional state or in a tragic situation. That's one of those things that is cut off first, because we think it doesn't touch us. This is going to touch everyone. This is something for the entire nation to watch. This is something that the entire nation needs to be aware of. This is how they're going to treat any kind of disaster from now on, unless things are changed. So how do we change it? And how do we spot this before it occurs again? So that's what I'm doing. Go watch the victims. Go hear the stories. And if you see somebody that's trying to use this and exploit this in any inappropriate way, please report it. I mean, that's very important. There are a lot of people that are trying to do clickbait titles and stuff, and it's just it's silly. I mean, it's for views. I'm not monetized. I don't make any money. But it's silly to see people that are using clickbait titles, or people that are putting themselves in danger going to this area to hike a back mountain to see something that they don't need to be in the middle of, because it could potentially take their life too. If y'all don't know how dangerous these hills and hollers are, they're very dangerous. And people are not the only predator. We got black bears thick in this area, and North Carolina does too. And you don't need to be out there. There's just a lot of crap out there. You don't need to be out there. But we have a lot of people doing stupid things right now to get videos that people will watch. And I'm like, we don't need that. These victims are coming online and telling their own stories. So go seek the victims out, support them, watch the people that are doing the rescues, get firsthand, reliable information, and understand it's going to take an emotional crapshoot to get through this, and we need to help each other, not hinder each other. So everybody, find someone that you can listen to that has valid information about this, and then try to compost maybe one more extra story a day. Try to stay aware, because I guarantee you, I know the media is not showing this. the requests for body bags at specific points are not being shared. The people hear it there on the ground, the victims hear it, and it shuns it. I mean, it shocks them, but they feel like they're being shunned. Like they're being tried, hands away, you stay over there. We know what's going on. You live here, you stay over there. But they're hearing this, and they want other people to know. And I think, we've got people that are victims that feel like they're being shunned by the people that should be helping them, and they feel like the information is not getting to the appropriate hands. So we've got victims brave enough to come on and tell us what's going on. So absolutely support them. Listen to their videos. Share really good stories that can help somebody get through the day. There are miracles happening in the middle of this, and no one wants to share those, obviously. But there are miracles occurring in the middle of this, and that's one of those things that you're like, that's what we needed to hear today. So go find those stories and help yourself out. But be aware, this is going to be months of work here to any semblance of society to come back in this area. It's going to be months. And if you saw the pictures I posted that my brother sent me from the chicken farm, literally the people there are just kind of told to sit still. Sit still, stay. And so they're trying to help neighbors dig out and their chicken houses, their barns, whatever they can help with. They're just trying to help the closest people to them because that's all they're being really allowed to do right now. So it seems like when FEMA comes in, it hinders things. And I'm concerned about that. Pinellas County, Florida is finding that out firsthand as FEMA shuts down waste management and landfill sites. So go and search Pinellas County, Florida, St. Petersburg, and let's see if there's going to be a resolution made there. Other than that, Trump, I know, is in Evans, Georgia, going to a town hall in North Carolina. It will be broadcast. I think Right Side Broadcasting. Is it Right Side? Right Side Broadcasting Network. Right Side. I don't know. Whichever one it is. I think they're going to put it up live. So that will be interesting to watch because there will be people there that has lived. They've lived through this. They're going to have stories to tell. So go watch that, and just wait. It's going to get worse. Sorry. It will get better. It's going to get worse first.